He had to fall back on his parents for financial support. We should hold off on buying a new car until next year. We can't rule out the possibility of rain tomorrow. She always falls for his jokes. Don't miss out on the concert tickets. Many students came down with food poisoning. She decided to shake up her daily routine. They held out until the negotiations were over. He worked hard and didn't let up. The workers called for better working conditions. She came into a large inheritance. We need to dispose of the old furniture before moving. Can you chip in a few dollars for the gift? I'll stick with my original plan. I think I'll go for the chicken salad. The thief made off with the jewelry. Can you cover for me while I take a break? Stress can bring on headaches. Some fans decided to stick around and try to meet the band. Unexpected expenses fell on us this month. The new trend takes some time to catch on. The smoke set off the building's fire alarms. The company's innovative approach won over investors. Our plans to go camping fell through due to bad weather. He tried to track down the source of the problem. He was accused of selling out by creating commercial work. The meeting seemed to drag on forever. The wind started to die down in the evening. The suspect broke down and admitted his guilt. She called her sister to make up after their fight. The coach called off practice due to the heavy rain. He tried to live up to his parents' expectations. He didn't want to bring up the past. The report summed up the results of the survey. They split up after 10 years of marriage. He always sticks up for his little sister. The coach stepped down after a series of losses. The old printer finally gave out yesterday. He burned out from the stress of his job. He was roughed up by the bullies after school. She drew on her past experiences to solve the problem. She told her parents to back off and trust her. He held back his anger and calmly explained the situation. The demolition crew knocked down the old building. The cowboy rounded up the cattle at dawn. She saw through his disguise immediately. Let's map out our route before we start driving. The chef brought out the best flavors in the dish. The teacher felt for the student who was struggling. The fans piled in the stadium to see the concert. Let's wrap up the meeting before noon. He tried to pass off the fake painting as an original. We took in the sights of the city. She left off working on the project to take a break. Let's kick off the meeting with a brief introduction. She grew out of her favorite dress. The company dished out bonuses to its employees. He is cutting back on junk food to improve his health. He bought her flowers to make up for forgetting her birthday. She went over her presentation several times before giving it. I accidentally gave away the surprise party. Keep up the good work. It's difficult to keep up with all the latest news. How is your project coming along? The total bill adds up to more than we expected. She pointed to the map on the wall. They decided to settle down in a quiet town. The river began to dry up during the drought. Can you help me straighten out this mess? He set aside an hour every day to study. I'm tired, so I think I'll turn in early tonight. It's important to hang on to your dreams. They planned to tear down the old building. If you don't shape up, you might lose your job. He set out to become a professional athlete. The company attempted to cover up the scandal. The store turned away customers after closing time. They put in a new air conditioning system last week. She's starting to get into photography as a hobby. He kicked back on the sofa. His fear of dogs stems from a childhood incident. The movie stirred up interest in the historical event. The employees are pushing for better working conditions. The fans were carried away by their team's victory. He felt sick and threw up. She set down her thoughts in a journal. His sense of humor endeared him to his coworkers. He pulled over to let the ambulance pass. He has to live on a tight budget. The trial was dragged out for months. I need to see about getting my car fixed. The band decided to branch out with a new musical style. Be careful, or you could wind up getting lost. I can relate to the song's lyrics. The coach told the team to tighten up their defense. Flowers quickly spring up after the rain. The team had to contend with difficult weather conditions. His qualifications didn't measure up to the job requirements. The company turned around its financial situation within a year. The children here never want for love and support. The letter went astray. Please cross out the wrong answers. He likes to mess with old computers. He often tries to speak for his friends. He heads off to school at 8 a.m. every day. The company plans to buy out its competitor. He spelled out his plan to the team. He felt the need to break away from his routine. The train will pull into the station in a few minutes. He talked her into joining the club. Your opinion really counts for a lot in this matter. I've been wrestling with this code all day. Let's kick around some options before making a decision. I happened on an old friend while walking in the park. The company gave over the project to a new team. After facing failure, he bounced back stronger than ever. She tried to stop up the noise with earplugs. He used a bicycle to get around the city. Be careful, you might fall off the ladder. The final chapter rounds out the story nicely. Hard work will eventually pay off. Time goes by quickly when you're having fun. Can you bear with the noise for a few more minutes? If everyone agrees, we'll go along with the decision. The book briefly touches on the history of the region. The company plans to phase out older models of smartphones. Let's head out to the beach and enjoy the sunshine. The magic trick came off flawlessly. He put forth his opinion during the meeting. The river branches off into several smaller streams. I like to hang around the park on weekends. She narrowed down the topics for her research paper. Many myths spring from ancient traditions. Can you fill in for me at the meeting tomorrow? We must adhere to the rules at all times. She wanted a red dress but settled for a blue one. I need to catch up on the latest news. It's time to get down to work. He put forward his opinion during the meeting. The teacher laid down the rules for the classroom. As the sun went down, the cold winter night set in. Her interest in the hobby started to fall away. The company cannot sit by and ignore the changing trends. The wildfire ate up thousands of acres of forest. She started a new exercise routine to burn off calories. The toddler clung to her mother's leg. The team pulled off a remarkable victory. She went at her homework with great determination. I think I know what you're getting at. She always comes through in difficult situations.